What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Tyren Johnson Show. I'm your host, Tyren Johnson, and I'm a professional basketball player that's currently playing in France. If you're new here, I play for a team called Adia Blois. Look them up on lnb.france to check us out, to see what's going on with us. First division team in France and one of the top leagues in the world. Today's episode is very interesting. It's an episode I didn't think I would have to make. I try to stick to mindset development, motivational type of content over here, but I also want people to grow, and I also want to see the best for people. So I have to tag into these topics a little bit. Some might view it as political, some might view it as things I need to stray away from, but you got to deal with it. That's your problem. Today's episode, we're talking about we're all different, and that's okay. We're all different, and that's okay. Big story just hit off last night. LSU versus Iowa. I'm thinking it's a great game. I enjoyed the game. I watched the game. Me and my teammate, we really was locked in. I love it for women's basketball. It showed what I've always said, that I really love watching women's basketball because of the skill level and the IQ level is very high. They still play basketball from a more pure point of view. It was amazing. But I wake up to typical American media coverage and a culture war has started. All of my colored people that looks like me are screaming one thing, and all of the non-colored people that doesn't look like me are screaming another thing. I'm gonna call it colored people and non-colored people because I don't believe in race too much. I don't like calling people black or white. I'm a human type of guy. So I'll just say that. Plus, I don't want to offend anyone. You know, people can identify as anything today. So, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, right? Big story is classless, no class. It's trending on Twitter, no class, taunting, all of these things, right? Because Angel Reese put a hand over her face and put a gesture towards her finger saying, "Ring me," to Caitlin Clark, right? And people are running with this, saying that makes her classless. And it led to me making this podcast because it's a deeper conversation that needs to be had, right? Angel Reese is from Baltimore, Maryland. All year long, she has been talking trash. That's what she do. That's what a lot of people from where she's from do. And if you're from Baltimore, they will say "do," just like they say "tew." So a person in Iowa might say "two." A person in Baltimore says "two." We're different. That's all it is. Where Caitlin Clark might run back and trot back and she make a shot, cool. Angel Reese might trot back and say, "do something." 3 ball, 3 to the head, but we're different. That's what we do. That's what Caitlin Clark and where she from, that's what they do. There's a viral picture going around showing that Caitlin Clark, she actually put her hand over her face in the South Carolina game. And she explained it during the photo shoot, saying that she was doing it towards her coaches, saying that nothing can face her, as she says. I take her word for it. Well, we don't know what the colored people felt about that. We seen that as her trash talking, right? And you can tell by the way that those LSU girls were playing, you can tell by their post-game conferences that they were offended. And they wanted to show her that she got to deal with us. They didn't take it as a racial thing. They took it as, okay, she want to dish it, she gonna get it back. Even if she probably was talking to her coach, that's not how they received it. you heard the little girl after, I don't want to say the little girl, you heard the woman after the game was over. She said, put some respect on our names, put some respect on LSU. It was personal. You can hear the passion in Angel Reese's voice when she said, y'all call me hood and ghetto all year long. This is for the girls that look like me. Bro, these girls take this personal. See, the bigger conversation is that the media, the fans don't look at athletes as real human beings. You guys look at us like we're robots. And that's the underlying undertone that nobody's talking about. You see, we're not supposed to have emotions. We're not supposed to feel. You guys get to say anything that you want to say to us, and we can't respond. And if we don't respond in the fashion that you guys deem respectful enough, we're ignorant, we're classless, we're all of these different names. And the biasness always like to go against the people that look like me. And I'm not a race card guy, but I'm stating the obvious and I'm stating the facts. You know, that's what I'm doing, right? So we celebrate in different ways, you know. LSU coach said something very, very important. At the end of the game, she said, I took a lot of kids with personality. A lot of coaches are afraid of personality. I've played with personality, so I understand it. What does that mean, guys? She's saying that a lot of coaches that's not colored would not understand a personality of an Angel Reese, of a Flo J, of the point guard that was in the middle, of Carson with the hair. Like, they would not understand that. You could see that this team was very distinctively different with multiple personalities. And you could see on Iowa teams, everyone looked pretty much the same. Non-colored, ponytails, soft-spoken. They got a viral video of what they're listening to before the game. It was like a high school little song. I guess it was a country song, little song. But then you see the distinct difference in the LSU locker room where most of the players are colored. Even the non-colored players on the team, they were listening to Boosie. We're different. And the most mature, before I say the most mature, I wanted to see, I'm cool with a lot of Republican people. I'm cool with a lot of non-colored people. I hate that I keep on saying this. And I wanted to go to their Facebook and see what was the commentary around the situation. Because I seen the commentary before the game. Yeah, Caitlin Clark playing tonight. Not Iowa, not LSU. Caitlin Clark is playing tonight. What an amazing player. Can't wait to see her play. And I wanted to see what would be the rebuttal after the game. And after the game, it was the tech was some bullshit. How was the tech some bullshit? They said she didn't even say anything. I'm like, the tech wasn't about her speaking. The tech was she threw the ball out of bounds. She threw the ball out of bounds behind her back. It was a delay of game. They had just warned them a couple of minutes before delay of game, and she did it again. Boom. That's a tech in any league, any game, any color, any man or woman. And the narrative was she didn't even say anything. They made an excuse for her very quickly. That's the biasness that we're talking about, right? But what I loved the most was, then the next thing I seen was Angel Reese. What a classless act. What a horrible person. What? Like, who is the class police? This is a conversation that we got to have. Because we do things differently in our community. We talk stuff. We talk trash. It's not personal. Right after the game, we hugging it out. That's what we do. You know, we dish it, we take it. It is what it is. Some people are sore losers, but that's every culture. But how is she classless? Because she's talking trash. We don't know what was said on that court. We don't know what type of elbows was thrown. We don't know what type of gestures was made. We don't know that. When you're in a game, when you're an athlete, you know that certain things go on in the game. One dude could get me on a rebound and elbow me in my stomach. Nobody will ever see that, but I'm taking it personally on him the whole game. It's just like Michael Jordan said, he will make things up in his brain so that he can get fired up to make a person to take it to the next level. I used to do the same thing. I would make up. This guy said, "What about my mama?" This man ain't said nothing but my mama. But to get me going and take to the next level, I will make up something in my head. I will find a fan sometime in the stands and just play a game with him. I will see him cheering too hard for the other team, and I just start looking at him. Now it's a game between me and the fan. Now my level of players being raised because I'm trying to outdo this fan. I'm trying to show up this fan. That's all it is. You can't measure class by that. Nobody's going to talk about how all of her teammates said that Angel Reese is a great leader. Nobody's going to talk about how that team all talked about how they come together, how they challenge each other all summer long, how they challenge each other weekly, holding each other accountable. Nobody talk about those leadership qualities. They're only going to focus on her gesture at the end of the game. And that's wrong. And it's riddled in indoctrination that's been going on for hundreds of years. Bro, that one standard way of living and what you guys consider class is done. We don't have to do that anymore. There's a whole situation how this started with colonization and everything else. That's over with, right? What's helped me get into my second point is, bro, you shouldn't have to change who you are. You should not have to change who you are. I heard Jay-Z said that I go into these meetings nowadays as myself. I don't have to cut my hair a certain way. I don't have to wear a certain suit or tie. I don't have to speak like, "Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Jay-Z." I don't have to speak a certain way. I get to speak the way I want to speak. I get to speak the way I speak. I get to walk the way I walk. I get to talk the way I talk. I get to dress the way I dress. I get to act like my culture. Because really, it's only one culture that people want to change. And it's the culture of people that look like me. When we get into a meeting, we gotta shave all our face bare so that we can look professional. We call it professional. We gotta cut our dreads because they say that's the professional look. Granted, I get it. If you own the company and it's a corporate company and you own the company, you want your company to look like your culture. I understand that. I'm going to talk the way I want to talk. I'm going to talk the way you want me to talk. I'm going to cut my hair. I'm going to dress the part. But understand, once I get on my feet, it's over with. It's over with. I'm going to wear my braids. I'm going to wear my dreads. My homegirl, she's going to twerk on social media. That's what we do. Like, and saying one is classless and one, like, that's very degrading. It's very degrading. That's why I love Kanye and how he allows himself to be himself. Like, he has an individual personality. I don't agree with everything he says, but even he acknowledges when he's wrong. And sometimes he don't. I'm not making excuses for Kanye, but the man said he wanted to be a rapper. They said, "Nah, you can't be a rapper. You got to be a producer." The man said he wanted to be a clothing designer. Like, "Nah, just be the rapper." The man has overcome and lived every dream he ever thought of. How is that like not a hero, somebody you want to look up to, right? Now, don't get me twisted. I'm not trying to take back anything he said, although what I think most of what he said was really not, I'm not going to get into that, but it's just, people are different. People are different. I love, if you do a business meeting with some guys from Saudi Arabia or some guys from Muslim faith, they're not coming into the meeting with suits on and having a certain type of haircut and chopping their beards off. Bro, they coming with their thing around their head and they're doing business. You don't have to do business with us. We're not changing who we are for you. It's like Africans right now. It's a big rebellion against the West. They're like, bro, we're not trying to be westernized. We're not trying to be like America. How can you, who have came to our land, stole the resources and killed our leaders and started political wars for so much years, teach us how to have democracy? It just doesn't make sense. So people are rebuking and rejecting this notion of one standard way of living, which is the Eurocentric standard way of living. It ain't happening no more. Especially nowadays, since people can make money so many different ways, we don't really need old white European men, non-colored European men, to give us money. We can make money a bunch of different ways now, and people are open to that idea. Before, it was only pretty much one way to survive, coming out of colonization and slavery and stuff like that. You didn't have much options. Today, we got options, right? And we starting to stick together a whole lot more. I can't wait to the day that we start sticking together all the time. But it's changing. It's changing. And it should change, right? Because my next point is that most people are selfish. Most people are selfish, man. Most people say that we love people, we love everyone, right? But do we really? Do we really love everyone? They had a guy at a gay pride parade, and the interviewer was asking him, he's like, what's going on here? And he's like, we out here just to celebrate love. You know, we're accepting people of trans background, non-binary, gay, straight, everything you could think of, you know. And the guy was like, well, what do you think of Donald Trump? Instantly, he went, he said, I hope this guy die. I hope he gets killed. I thought you love everybody. I thought you just want the world to love. But soon as you hear something about somebody that may disagree with your lifestyle, you want them dead. Most people are selfish, man. Most people don't care about other people. They care about their agenda, and they're biased towards their agenda. And we got to stop that. People can disagree with you. That don't mean that they hate you. People can act differently from you. That don't mean that they're classless. We're all different. Say like those girls, period. Man, it's so many times, like, I got some shoes, they're pink. Like, guys make fun of it and like, yo, what are you, gay? Because you wear pink slippers? I'm like, bro, why? How does my slides determine my sexual preference? Like, that's an indoctrination. So I'm not mad at the person that says this. I'm thinking about who taught you this? Who taught you that a color makes you gay? Or a color is determining of your sexual preference? I talk about skincare a lot now. I like to take care of my skin. I'm really big on facial skincare and stuff like that. Guys are like, well, when you gonna announce you gay? I'm like, bro, since when taking care of yourself as a grown man determines your sexual orientation? It's crazy what we have been indoctrinated to believe. But somebody got to say something. And that's why you're on the Tyren Johnson show. Last point, man, let me conclude this episode because I can go all night about this, right? But we must accept each other's differences, right? Everybody's different. America, especially coming from America, America is one big country clumped into a bunch of different, made up of a bunch of different cultures. Like in Europe, you got a big old continent, right? But there's a ton of different countries. And I live in France. 4 hours down the road is Belgium. And it's a totally different culture. North France is totally different from South France. In this small proximity, things are drastically different. Imagine an entire country in North America, like America, the land size of North America. Bro, there's a ton of different cultures within the same culture. We're the same by nationality, but we're not the same by cultures. In Louisiana, we're different than the colored people from Mississippi. The Mississippi people are different from the colored people in Atlanta. The non-colored people are different in Louisiana than the non-colored people in Iowa. It's all different. It's a difference in the way that we talk. It's different in the way that we laugh. It's a different in the way that we explain ourselves. It's a different in the way we dress. It's a different in the way that we conduct business. It's a difference. And we must accept it. That one standard way of living is over with. It's dead. We got to stop it. Cut it out. Right? Instead of trying to tear it down, saying that your way of living is stupid or your way of living is dumb, try and embrace it. Try and understand it. If you don't like it, if you don't appreciate it, don't deal with it. You're not forced to deal with it. Right? That's what we got to understand. If you don't like trans people, you don't have to deal with them. There's still going to be trans people. If you don't like colored people, you don't have to deal with them. There's still going to be colored people. If you don't like non-colored people, you don't have to deal with them. There's still going to be non-colored people. It just doesn't matter because we were not put on this earth to be black, white, Hispanic, Japanese, French, Chinese. That wasn't, bro, that's all made up to create division, right? To separate each other. And I get it. I understand some of the reason why we do it, but come on. We're all the same by species, but we're totally different by culture. Respect each other's culture. Respect each other's ways of living. And every day, make them pay so that one day you can live a truth life. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you get a chance. Thank you guys for listening if you made it this far. Until next time, which will be next Monday, I'm signing out. Peace and love and respect to everyone. I'll catch y'all on the next episode, man.